I'd like to record a macro, but before I do so, I'd like to insert a new sheet. So I'm going to press the key combination Shift F11. I'd then like to rename the sheet Macros, so I'm going to double click its current name and call it Macros. On the Developers tab in the ribbon is the Record Macro button in the Code group. I'm going to click the Record Macro button. The name of the macro is address, so I'll type address. With regards to macro names, you are not allowed a space in a macro name. It must be one word. You can assign a shortcut key to a macro. Control must be included in the shortcut key combination, and hence it's shown here. So I'm going to click in the shortcut key box and press Shift A. This will assign the shortcut key combination Control Shift A to the macro called address. I'm going to store the macro in this workbook, which means it only works in this workbook. If I was to hit the drop down and choose Personal Macro Workbook, this macro would work in any file, any sheet, any time. But I'm going to leave it on this workbook. In the description box, I can type a description. This macro inserts the company address written by Kathy Barker in June 2013. Having given the macro a name, a shortcut key, and assigning it to this workbook and a description, I can now click OK. On the Developers tab in the ribbon and in the Code group, I'd like you to click the button Use Relative References. When you click this button, it appears with a shade of orange, which purely means it's turned on. Now what I'd like to do is record typing. Software Solutions, PO Box, Mount Maunganui, and New Zealand. I'd like to best fit the column width, so I'm going to double click between A and B. And I'd like to make Software Solutions bold, so I'm going to click on A1 and press Ctrl B. And really that's all I want to record doing. So I'm going to stop recording using the Stop Recording button on my Developers tab in the ribbon. Stop recording. To test my macro, I'll click on a cell such as C1 and press Ctrl Shift A, which automatically runs my macro. The reason I turned on Use Relative References is that I want the macro to run relatively in any cell, so I can go to E1 and press Ctrl Shift A. If I hadn't turned on Use Relative References, the code or the macro would have become fixated with A1 and would have always inserted the address in A1, where really I needed to relatively insert the address anywhere.